By now, I'm sure most of you have seen these clips, and honestly, it's one of the more hilarious pre-game rituals or superstitions that I have ever seen or heard of, and it made me want to look for some other crazy superstitions or pre-game rituals that players have had in NHL history, and I definitely found some ones that kind of make you say, wow, he really did that. I'm not talking about the more common ones that we see in the NHL today, like the whole last to leave the ice thing, or teams not touching the conference trophy before they play in the Stanley Cup Finals. Those ones weren't quite crazy enough to make the video. If you guys are new to the channel and you want to see more NHL content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's not waste any more time and jump right into it. NHL legend and Hall of Fame goaltender Glenn Hall, aka Mr. Goalie, had probably the most intense pregame ritual that we're gonna talk about in this video. Apparently, before every game, Glenn Hall induced vomiting to ease his nerves. This was later confirmed in an interview back in 2011. Hall said, "In the latter years, it was true. I got to feeling I wasn't giving everything I had if I didn't go through it. I also felt I played better. I put pressure on myself." They talk about handling pressure. Well, pressure is the greatest thing there is. It forces you to play at a higher level. I had set a standard and didn't want to play below that standard. I think my last year of junior I did it a couple of times. I felt like if I wasn't wired, I wasn't playing well. I'd get up in the morning and I couldn't wait for a game. That is pretty crazy. I've always said, half jokingly, half not, that goalies are weird. Anyone that signs up to have pucks ripped at them over 100 miles an hour has to be a little bit crazy, so it only felt right to start the video off with a goaltender who had such an insane pregame ritual. But hey, it worked for Glenn Hall, as he won over 400 games, won the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year, a 3-time Vezina Trophy winner, a Stanley Cup champion, and Conn Smythe Trophy winner in 1968. Definitely one of the greatest to ever do it. This one is a little bit different, as it's not a superstition or a pregame ritual any one player has, but more so a tradition of an entire fan base. Even as a Red Wings fan, I gotta say this has to be one of the weirdest traditions and superstitions in sports in general. You hear of people throwing things on the ice. Hats when a player scores a hat trick, of course, is the most popular one. The Florida Panthers fan base throw fake rats on the ice, but those are fake rats. Real octopus? I mean, I've always wondered how people are able to smuggle them into the arena. For those of you who don't know how this originated, well, pretty much the 8 tentacles of the octopus represent the 8 playoff victories once needed to win the Stanley Cup. Of course, now you need to win 16, but it was 8 when this began. It first started back in 1952 during the 3rd game of the final series against the Montreal Canadiens. Pete Cusimano, an Eastside fish market owner, celebrated the first Red Wing goal by throwing an octopus on the ice. The Wings won the game and the series, and Cusimano reportedly claimed that his sacrificial octopus had influenced the outcome. After that, Cusimano showed up at every Red Wings home playoff game and fired an octopus on the ice after they scored. Now, you really don't see this as much anymore because it is kind of frowned upon, and if you're caught doing it, you'll probably be thrown out of the arena. And I think a few years back, actually, a Red Wings fan threw an octopus on the ice in Boston and was arrested for it. Also, the Red Wings fan who threw the first octopus at Little Caesars Arena, which of course is now Detroit's home rink, faces a lifetime ban. So it's a cool tradition and everything, but if you're heading to a Red Wings game, I don't recommend smuggling in an octopus. Patrick Waugh is arguably a top 3 goaltender in NHL history. A 3-time Vezina Trophy winner, a 5-time Jennings winner, a 4-time Stanley Cup champion, and a 3-time Conn Smythe Trophy winner, 551 career wins. He really did it all. On top of all of that success, he is also one of the more interesting characters that the league has ever seen, so it only makes sense that he makes an appearance in this video. What exactly was his superstition? Well, during games, he would talk to and make friends with his goalposts. You do see this in the NHL a little bit today. Marc-Andre Fleury often gives his post a pat or a rub if somebody shoots the puck and it hits the post, but I don't think anybody does it to the extent Patty Waugh did. He said, "I started talking to the goalpost by accident. We were playing in Hartford and I started talking to them during the anthem. They helped me and I played a good game. In overtime, a guy took a slap shot and it hit the post and we won." When asked about what exactly he says to the goalpost, Patty Waugh said, "I say, come on guys, help me out." before the game, I give them direction. I feel every goalie needs a superstition. The goalposts are always with me. They talk back to me. Some nights they say bing, but sometimes they have a bad night too. I feel like this further proves my point that goaltenders are a little bit weird, and this isn't the last time we're gonna talk about a goalie in this video either. But hey, similar to what I said when talking about Glenn Hall, this obviously worked very well for Patty Waugh, as again, he is one of the greatest of all time. I'm sure everybody has heard of Blackhawks legend and Hockey Hall of Famer Stan Makita. 1,467 career points, 4 Art Ross trophies, 2 Hart trophies as league's MVP. Obviously an amazing career. One thing Stan Makita loved to do every game, in fact in between each period, is smoke a cigarette. His teammates said he was a big time chain smoker and even would have smoked on the bench if they had let him. An interesting part about this is every time Stan Makita finished one of his cigarettes, he would throw the cigarette butt over his left shoulder, never anywhere else, always over the left shoulder. Now, back when Stan Makita played, this really wasn't that big of a deal, because obviously back then, things were a lot different than they are today. The way I look at it is, what if somebody in the NHL today in 2020 smoked cigarettes, let alone in between periods? Even if a fan captured a photo of an NHL player smoking a cigarette in the off season, I'd imagine there would be a pretty big uproar. Even though smoking cigarettes is known to have a damaging effect on the lungs, it didn't really affect Stan Makita's on-ice performance whatsoever. In fact, throughout his NHL career, he was always known to be a pretty amazing skater. The story of Pelle Lindbergh is one of the saddest in NHL history. In the midst of his prime, just a couple of months after winning the Vezina Trophy in 1985, at the young age of just 26, he passed away from a severe brain injury he suffered in a car accident. I don't want this video to take a dark turn, so let's focus on some of the interesting superstitions that he had throughout his playing career, because he actually had a decent amount of them. Pelle Lindbergh would wear the same orange t-shirt under his equipment each game. Even if it started to fall apart, he would have it sewn up and it was never washed ever. In addition to this, the only thing he would drink during intermissions was a Swedish beverage called Prips. Not only did it have to be that drink, but he could also only drink it if it had exactly 2 ice cubes in it, if it was given to him by a specific trainer, and would only take it from the trainer with his right hand. That right there is as superstitious as it possibly gets. Superstitions like this that are so precise really make you wonder, how did he ever possibly come up with these? Joe Newendak was a pretty lethal goal scorer throughout his NHL career, scoring 30 or more goals in a season 8 different times, and his 564 career goals currently puts him 23rd on the NHL's all-time goals list. A goal scorer as good as he was, it kind of makes sense that he was superstitious with his hockey sticks. So what exactly did Newendak do? Well, he would put baby powder on his sticks. He felt that this baby powder treatment would give him luck and the ability to score more goals, and I guess it kind of worked for him. You hear of players taping their sticks all types of different crazy ways, or writing something on the tape of their hockey sticks, but baby powder, it's another one of those ones where it kind of just has you asking yourself, when did this start? Why did it start? How did he ever come up with something like that? I'd love to ask Joe Newendak that question one day. But that is pretty much going to wrap up this video. I probably could have included a couple of more, but I didn't just want to talk about goalies for the entire video. Most of the crazy superstitions I found online were involving goaltenders. For an example, Eddie Belfour, he was really attached to his goalie equipment. His superstition was he refused to let anybody except for himself touch any part of it. Apparently, his superstition was so strong that he was known to threaten those who came near or touched his equipment. He was quoted as saying, "If you touch my stuff, I'll kill you." Obviously, he wasn't being serious, but that just shows you how strongly he felt about anybody touching his equipment. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave it a like. That is the best way to show your support. And for as much as I focus on the on-ice stuff on this channel, this was a nice change of pace to make a video like this. I really enjoyed it, so I hope you guys did as well. As always, if you guys are new to the channel and you want to see more NHL content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 50,000. I have a giveaway planned for that, so if you're new, hit the sub button, and I will see you guys all in the next video.